G'day folks, and welcome back to the channel for episode number 6 of my Aether Spellbinder playthrough. Last episode I said I was going to go do a little bit of farming, and I did, and we'll get to that in a second. Just a quick recap though, last episode we kind of got up to the Tomb of the Watcher, and then I sort of went, nah, I'm not feeling it. I'm going to go get some gear, and did that before we killed Loghorrean. Now, today we are going to kill Loghorrean, but there's also a few little things like this ruined shrine here that I want to go and get. There are a few other shrines as well, but I'm going to leave those for now. I'm going to go pick up this one, and then we are going to get into the Tomb of the Watchers, etc. I did, like I said, go and do some gear farming, and the thing I want to point out here is this bounty for the Aether Flame. Now, I haven't been and checked, so he may not be here, but I'm going to go find him. The character is actually called someone or other, the Aether Flame, so it'll be easy enough to find this bounty. It took me, I think, 1 or 2 more resets after the end of the last episode to actually get the bounty. But once you've got it, you can come out here, and one of his spawn locations is right here. So this is Rostov, the Aether Flame. He's a charger, and he sometimes has a pair of shoulders. Now, he didn't drop them this time, but this is where I've got the majority of those shoulders you see in my inventory from. The rest of the helmets only drop from the Ethereal Cronley's gang in here. Also, you can find them just to the side of Tyrant's Hold here, above Twin Falls, in that little section. I killed... what's his name? Rudnick. I killed him 3 times, and he didn't drop anything, so I'm going to say that one's a myth. 3 times is honestly not a huge sample, but that's kind of where I stopped. So I've got a few items here, and the 2 that I'm going to pick to use here is the Celestial Ascended Cask of the Aether, and the Aggressive Ascended Shoulder Plates of the Flesh Hulk. Now I'm also going to hang on to these Seraphim of the Aether, because they have a very nice elemental conversion to Aether damage percentage on them. They also have Aether damage, and they have 2 good resistances. So I'm going to hang on to those. I may or may not use those in a couple of levels, but for now I have those 2 that you see there. So let's go ahead and swap those in. Before I do that, let's just make sure that I'm not bricking any resistances. No, looks good. So once I get the Silk Swatch onto that new shoulder, we are good to go. Now, I didn't end up farming any rings. These rings are kind of okay, I'm going to call them. The Arcane Blaze is a really nice suffix. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with a huge amount of resistances. Void Touched, also not great. So this ring in general is not amazing. The Aether Missile proc is nice, but other than that, not so much. And then Cronley's Signet here does actually have some good resistances, but other than that, not particularly impressed. So I could have done some more ring farming. You can also farm them from the merchants, although this appears to have been nerfed pretty heavily in one of the recent patches. Seeing a rare ring here it's kind of rare, actually. Previously, I would get 1 to 3 rare rings from each merchant to look through each time I reset them. That is not happening anymore. It's more like 1 rare ring every 2 or 3 merchants. So it's considerably worse than it used to be. I probably wouldn't recommend doing it anymore. Find one of the MI rings that you're kind of okay with using, whether that's the Gollus ring, whether that's the Bloodsworn Signet if you're playing pets. Find some sort of MI ring that you're okay with, and go and farm that, or you can also go and find a faction ring that you're okay with using, and just buy 2 of them. That's probably the easier way to go, although you do have to have the reputation for it. I haven't actually looked for this build, if there's any Aether rings. There will be, but I haven't looked, so let's get rid of you idiots. I probably don't need to be killing Bolvar here, but you know what? He's in the area. I'm in the area. May as well. Everybody loves reputation, right? There's another Chthonic Seal. He's got 2 very nice pistols there. Demonic of Alacrity is not something I want to be getting shot by. Fortunately, he's not super scary in normal, if you have good Chaos Res. Alright, so there is my shrine. Let's go ahead and put that in the Widow. We're coming up on the Arcane Bomb, which is going to be very useful if we can get a couple of levels into it before we get to my good friend Loghorrean. One other thing that I didn't do, that I said I was going to do, is the... which way is going to be easier to get there? I think it's going to be from this one. I think it's the Black Sepulchre. Something like that anyway. There's a tomb back here that I dropped a rift at and then said, I'm gonna forget all about, and then I did. So let's go back and get that as well. And there are more devotion shrines available than just these. I could go into Port Valbury. There's a devotion shrine in there that you don't need to spend a skeleton key for. Similar with the Steps of Torment. Similar again with the Bastion of Chaos, which technically have access to now. But I'm going to leave those ones for a little while. The Bastion of Chaos is actually potentially too expensive for me to get into. The bridge from memory requires 40 scrap to repair. I don't know that I have that. But we're in here in, yeah, it is the Black Sepulchre. And we basically, you just want to walk through here. You can kill stuff, you can skip killing stuff. It really doesn't matter. Don't stand in the Aether goop. But you want to head down this little cave here. So however you get to this part here, sometimes you have to go all the way around there. But you want to come through here. And then get through... Is there ever a shortcut here? I can't remember. There's a devotion shrine anyway. But I think you have to kind of go around the long way, regardless of where the blockages spawn. There is a totem in here somewhere. Where is my map gone? Did I turn that off? Must have. Interesting. I don't remember turning that off, although I definitely could have. Right, so in here, grab the shrine and get out. Now you can, like I said, you can kill this. There's also a boss right in front of the shrine itself, so you can fight him or not. He does have a medal that comes standard with chaos resistance, so it is not bad to kill him. I'm going to replace this medal regardless of how good it is, around level probably 55, 60. Dreadlords of Corrosion, not amazing, not awful. I'll pick it up and we'll have a look at it once we're a little more safe. There's my other devotion point, and I'm, I think, 1 point short now of getting the Widow online. I really do want to get that before the Loghorrean. So there are, I think, 2 more devotion shrines in Act 4. But there's some offensive ability and Aether damage. Can I take that point out? I only need 6 for the Widow. I think I can take that green point out, so we may have just got the Widow unlocked. Let me just check. Unfortunately, this run is a little bit long. That is what it is. Alright, can we do it? Yes, yes we can. Alright, beautiful. So we have the Widow. That means we're putting it on Albrecht's Aether Ray. And yes, I want to take that off. Now this means we have to start using Ill Omen a lot more. I've only got 1 point in that, and I took it 100%. I took this just so as I would have something to put Aether Fire once I got the Widow. Ooh, need to spend some more skill points too. But this skill itself is actually really good. The reduced target's damage can be made permanent. I think once you get this up to 10 out of 10, it's like 5.4 second duration and 5 second recharge. So you can keep this on a boss or whatever, spreading through a crowd, however you want to use it, pretty much permanently. However, we now have access to Reckless Power, which is going to give us some more Aether damage. Also cast speed, which is very, very nice. And we have access to Devastation. So I'm actually not going to take Devastation this level. I will put a point into it, but for now I want to get Disintegration online. Also need some more points for the actual Aether Ray, although, I mean, energy is going down, which is not great. I don't have a helmet enchant, or a helmet component yet, so let's go ahead and chuck an Ectoplasm on there. That'll give us a little bit more energy regeneration, a pile more energy. If you're having issues with energy regeneration, ectoplasm on helmet and or rings is really, really good. You can get a huge amount of bonus or excess energy from doing that. So definitely recommend. Okay, Mark of Plagius. 37% chaos resistance is the same as the Kaiman's badge. The acid and vitality damage on Harbinger of Souls is irrelevant because we don't have Harbinger of Souls and we're not going to get Harbinger of Souls. So the actual MI itself is exactly as worthless as the Kaiman's badge MI itself is. They both have the same chaos res. Kaiman's badge has some pierce and Aether. Honestly, no. This one, if this wasn't a medal, I would be super happy about this. Unfortunately, it is. So we're going to sell that. The Herald stuff, level 35, downgrade in armor. I'm going to get rid of that as well. Anasteria's leg guards. Now, +3 to nullification, who cares? +3 to Mark of Torment, I care. But it's going to be a little while before we get that, so I'm going to sell those as well. The perdition stuff, honestly, I'm not going to use that, so let's get rid of that. The Anchorite's Headguard, I don't need this anymore. I already have more than enough chaos resistance, so I'm going to sell that as well. And these gloves can go too. Now, these shoulders, I will probably swap in at 46, so I'm going to hang on to those. The Slith Primal Ring I may end up using, but yeah, it's whatever. And no cunning. No points in cunning. That's unusual. I'm going to save some points here because I have a gear swap coming, and I have a feeling I'm going to want some cunning at some point. Right. The other thing I'm going to do while I'm here is get rid of this Aether Flame quest, or this Aether Flame bounty. No, I'm not. I'm going to keep it, just in case I want to farm some more of these at a higher level. So, leave that one. Leave that one. Let's go kill some cultists in the Tomb of Korvac. That'll get that quest out of the way. And then I think we can go do Loghorrean. So, Astrakhan Road Rift. The great thing about coming here is it's the wrong place. Astrakhan Valley Rift. Great thing about coming here is the number of chthonic seals of binding we're going to get out of it. This is one of the best places in the game, actually probably the best place in the game to farm these. So all of these guys with yellow names can drop them. There we go. See that symbol above their head? That's from the Widow's arcane bomb explosion. So we're going to be seeing that a lot more often. You can see it there on the floor. Let's get this guy to run over it, if I can. There you go. Doesn't do a huge amount of damage to him. I'm pretty sure that's Spectral Binding that's killing him at the moment. But it's shredding resistances, which is good. Getting more levels on it would be ideal. More levels, more shred, you know how it is. And getting as much of that as possible is going to be amazing for fighting the Loghorrean. You can also see the number of those little Aether puddles is really big because it doesn't have an internal cooldown, and every single tick on every single enemy that it's applied to, it's going to be checking to see if it triggers. Watch as it just doesn't trigger. But you can see that Ill Omen is spreading. And you're going to end up with piles of Aether goop everywhere. It's good fun. Okay, we've got enough of these guys. However, I want to kill a few more of them because I need the seals. Every time I say the word seals, I just feel like making seal noises. I'm not going to do it, but it does amuse me. Okay, honestly, that's probably enough. That's not to say I'm going to stop, but that is probably enough. Alright, got them. Let's burn through all these guys. You can see Ill Omen's still spreading up there. And that's kind of enough. There is an MI over here. It does have a medal from memory. It's a Warcry medal, so not so great for this character, but kind of okay. Right, let's go actually to Fort Icon. We'll turn this quest in. And then I'm going to not accept the next quest, because the next quest is them trying to murder me. And I don't fancy being dead. So, Captain Reeves, yes, the cultists are dead, and that's it. So, Spellbreaker Moira here, I probably don't have enough reputation for it, but she's going to give you the next Black Legion quest, and like I said, unless you want to die, do not go to the immolation.
I'll give you a good price on what I've got left. Iron well
Right.
spent.
Like I said, I'm going to keep that bounty there. It's going to bother me, but every time I see it, I'm going to be reminded to check my shoulders. Right. This is the Necropolis interior, and I pretty much do a counterclockwise loop of this area when I'm going through it for the first time. These little square platforms here will often have one of the wagons on them. All of the wagons will be on one or another of these square platforms, and it's just a matter of finding the square platform that you need. Now, I'm also coming over here because there is a chance for an Exalted Stash over here. There will be an Exalted Stash somewhere in this area. That's one of the spawn points. So obviously it's not there, otherwise I would have used it. But that's the first place I check. Let's just spread the ill omen. I really should put some more points into that. It's really fun skill. It's not particularly good for actually killing things, but it can really help with survivability, because anything that you're not really worried about the damage from, you'll fear them and they'll run away and spread it among their friends, and then they'll get feared and run away. It's really fun. There used to be a build you could do with a Kabbalist that would use Ill Omen and then the, what is that? I want to call it Blood Pact, but that's not right. It's the Plague skill that the Occultist has. The name escapes me at the moment. But you would chuck that onto the monsters. It has a modifier that makes them run faster. So you would give them that, which puts a dot on them that also spreads. Makes them run like crazy. Makes them faster, that is. And then you would cast Ill Omen on them, and they would run all over the place. It was amazingly fun. Not super effective, but hilariously funny. It kind of still works. I should give it a shot sometime. Okay, totem. Let's turn the totem on. And we'll kill everything here. None of this should be particularly dangerous. There we go. Glyph of the Elusive Assassin. Bloodbound Ointment. Chthonian Seal of Binding. These potions are expensive, and I have enough overcap that I'm not really tempted to use one. However, if you don't have probably 30% Chaos overcap, getting this is amazing. I would highly recommend having one of those, also the Vitality Resistance Potion, and also the Poison Resistance Potion. I would recommend having one of each of those for fighting the Loghorrean. I will probably go and get one of each of the others. Like I said, I don't need the Chaos one at the moment, but the others are definitely a possibility. Unfortunately, as we just saw, they do require a Chthonic Seal of Binding in order to craft them. So they are expensive to craft, but you can buy them individually sometimes from Isaiah Redden in Homestead. So I've missed the northern wagon. It's going to be in the middle here. Can I get there through this little section here? Kinda, not really. It's going to be kind of right there. It's alright, we'll go get it. And once I've got that wagon, I am going to go back to Homestead and see if I can get my hands on a couple of resistance potions. So here is the last wagon. And the Chthonian Dreadguards. These guys, anyone who's watched my channel for more than about 30 seconds knows that I'm very, very paranoid about those things. It comes from the fact that they now get to use the MI axes that they sometimes spawn with, and the fact that I had one of them spawn with like 600 or 700% physical damage and a bunch of flat physical damage, and he nearly deleted one of my actually quite tanky hardcore characters in like 2 swings. So that's why I'm a little bit paranoid about them. Most of the time, they're not going to have those fancy axes. And most of the time when they do have those fancy axes, they'll have rubbish affixes. But, you know, it can happen, so that's kind of why I'm a little wary about them. Okay, I've lucked out here. There's a vitality potion, so I'm going to buy that. This is why you really, really, really want to be careful when you're talking to Isaiah Redden when you're doing his quest. Because if you annoy him... That's a nice ring. If you annoy him or kill him, then he's not going to be here. Or he'll be here, but he won't sell you these potions. So, really need to be careful when you're doing his quest. Now, I've got a vitality potion there. I've already determined, that I don't need a chaos potion. Do I have the recipe for the poison and acid resistance potion? Yes, I do. Venom Guard ointment. So I need to make an anti-venom salve. One of those. And then we can just do a search for Venom Guard. Or just Venom. There we go. And now I've got 3 of those. So that's going to be more than enough resistances to go kill the Loghorrean. I've got the Widow, which is what I was looking for, to go and kill the Loghorrean. I'm all set. I've got a decent amount of hit points. I say that 100 times your level is kind of the minimum. Well, I've got about 150 times my level, so that's fine. Offensive ability, I can crit things, although to be fair, it was a basic enemy. So not really too worried about that one. I think we're good to go. So, back to the Necropolis interior. So we're heading now to the Tomb of the Watchers here, and our mission is to kind of just get to the bottom. There is a devotion point in there, and I do want to get that devotion point. As to where we put it, I'll have to check my cheat sheet, but I think it's probably going to be heading towards the Revenant now. I don't want to be in melee with him, because he is even more likely to have a big scary axe. Huh, didn't have one. Regardless, those guys, they scare me. Of all the trash monsters or monster types in the game that I really don't want to mess with, they are pretty high up on the list. Okay, so there's a secret little area in here that I'm going to show you. It's kind of secret. It's not particularly well hidden, but it's kind of cool. So let's just clear this area first. Seal of Binding, we'll get that on the way back. Let's kill these as well. Why not? There we go. Alright, you, go away. So Forsaken Void Touched. Not particularly scared about this one, although these... Obsidious the Titan is again someone you don't really want to be in melee range with. There we go, that's a nice level. What do we pick up? Honed Broadsword, who cares? And then these blues are also... Actually, all of that is kind of who cares, but that's fine. I'm not expecting particularly amazing things out of this. That's alright. So here's the secret hidden area, which if you look on the map actually, you can kind of see where it is. These rooms here are kind of filled out, and the way you get to them is to click on this loose torch, and it'll open up this door. It'll also open up this door down here. So we can come in here, we can kick open all the vases, pretend we're Link from a Zelda game. Kick open all those. There are monsters that spawn in here. Actually, I lost a character in here to one of the ghost ambushes in the Season 5 mod. Might have been 4, but 4 or 5. But yeah, you can come back out there. You can't enter here as far as I know. I don't think there's a switch on the wall here. But you can definitely come out there. I guess there's no real point to coming out there, but it's something you can do. Alright, so I'm looking for Bane Galgalor, I think his name is, the big green worm. I'm looking out for him. There's a couple of points he can spawn, and everything else in this area is kind of ho-hum. A lot of this area is kind of just irrelevant because of resistances. So my resistances are literally all capped. And I have decent armor, and I have, good lifesteal from my main attack skill. I'm sitting pretty. I would like to get Haunt, for my relic to get another +1 skills, but that is what it is. Level 2 on the Arcane Bomb. Definitely loving that. And there's another little hidden area here, which if you need to see where it is on the map, it's right here. You don't really save any time anymore because they added this devotion shrine into normal difficulty, where it used to be an ultimate only thing. So, I mean, if you don't have all of your shrines by the time you get to here in ultimate, open your eyes, I guess. But hey, we get to do this now. Free extra devotion points and loot. Can't really complain about it. Those two pillars are actually really not in great places. Right, so devotion point. Let's have a look where we are here. Now I've got, you can't see it, but on my other screen I do have Grim Tools active. I know I want the Spear of the Heavens here. I know I'm going to be getting the Aeon's Hourglass. And I know I want the Revenant. So what I'm thinking, I was thinking the Jackal, but I already have the Jackal. So I need to get my hands on, what's that, 3 more? Yeah, 3 more red. The plan calls for the Viper, because of the devotions. The other thing I wouldn't mind doing is getting my hands on the Tortoise, and then we've already got the Ghoul, so yeah, let's go for the Tortoise now. Getting another defensive proc, especially a circuit breaker like this, is definitely a good thing. We're kind of all offense at the moment, and getting the Revenant means I need another skill. Although, having said that, I did say I'm going to be taking Devastation. I'm pretty sure I said now. Let's chuck a point in that. I may end up dropping this, and I'm definitely, I think, going to drop this once I get Panetti's, because time I spend casting this is time not spent casting this. So, in a perfect world, I probably won't cast this very much. I also need to start putting more points into Maven Sphere. I am decently tanky for this level because I have a lot of armor. I would like to get rid of that Silk Swatch, but apparently I can't do it because of resistances. But I'm decently tanky because I've focused a lot on armor, I've got a lot of health, all that sort of stuff. But we are going to get to the point where I need Maven Sphere. We are going to get to the point where I need more than just armor, so that's something to look to as well. Let's put 1 point in Albrecht's Aether Ray and 1 in Maven Sphere, and then I think we'll just kind of walk those skills up, as it were. Alright, so Gortok Anatu is one of the names of all time. Some of the Chthonians actually have really cool names, and you'll start to see patterns once you've seen a few of them. There we go. So yeah, you can see I'm decently tanky, maxed out resistances, pretty good armor. More or less makes normal difficulty a bit of a cakewalk, but ultimate difficulty will be expecting you to have those, and that'll be kind of the baseline for acceptable build, if that makes sense. Okay, Bane Galgalor's down. I should actually pick up this loot. I was looking at rings earlier and realized that, yeah, I'm going to be well out of money by the time I get to the Ancient Grove if I buy anything else from a merchant. So I need to start saving my bickies for when I get to the Ancient Grove, because there's actually a decent chunk of things that I want to buy from there. I also want to buy the Haunt relic recipe, so there's a decent amount of merchant purchases coming up in my near future, and I don't have any money. So, unfortunately, all the banks have closed in the Grim Dawn. Also, money is not really a thing anymore. But that basically means I'm not going to be able to get a loan. And, I mean, I could sell some of the components that I know I'm never going to use. Like all of those Searing Ember components, I just hang on to like 10, and I'll sell them, and I'll have hundreds of them by the time I need them to craft anything. So that's definitely something you can do if you're short on bits and you really need them in a hurry. Just sell a bunch of basic components. you'll have hundreds of them. And you'll never use them, I promise. Alright, so this area, the Seal of the Loghorrean, is probably... I mean, I don't know if I can say it's my least favorite area in the whole game, but it's definitely up there. I do not enjoy this area at all. Usually it's mostly because I get lost. Or I find every dead end in here. And then it ends up taking forever. Alright, I found the end though. Now it is time to drink my potions. And we're going to just rush straight in here. Now, the Bloodlord Thalanus, I'm not particularly worried about him. I'm pretty sure I can just kill him. If you could keep casting spells at me so I could get energy from it, that'd be great. Chaos damage from him, I don't care. Although, yeah, Vitality resistance is down to 66 when he has his curse active on me. That's why I wanted the Vitality resistance potion. And the other reason, of course, is this bad boy right here. So, the Loghorrean, we're going to kill him. It's not going to be particularly fast, but we're going to burn through him decently fast. I'm going to get sundered. Trying to work out here if I care. I'm going to go with no. So the thing that's going to stop me here is when I run out of energy. And that's realistically the only thing that is going to stop me. Alright, let's back off a little bit, and we need to kill off his two friends here. And you know what? Now is a good time to have a little chat. Mostly because I don't have any energy. So the Loghorrean, the fun thing about the Loghorrean, is easily one of the easiest act bosses if you have your resistances up, is you can just stand over here. If anything comes over, you kill them, and I mean, he can't chase you, he literally is the wall. So you can just come over here, wait for your cooldowns, maybe do a little bit of inventory management if you need to. Wait for your energy potion to come back up, wait for your mana infusion to come back up, wait for full mana. And now we just go back in and we do it again. And you can do this as many times as you need. Now, I am definitely tanky enough that I don't think I need to worry about taking damage. I do want to keep the Ill Omen on him, because I have a damage proc tied to it, so I want the extra damage from it. However, every time I do cast the Ill Omen, it interrupts my beam. So that's kind of annoying. I mean, it's also fine, but yeah, you get the idea. So we're just going to stand here and beam this guy down. And honestly, I think they need to increase the Loghorrean Sunder percentage or something, so as he isn't just basically a target dummy. Now, I need to back off a little bit because I'm out of energy. But, I mean, that should probably be enough, I think. Yep, there he goes. So the only thing that made this fight hard was running out of energy. And that's kind of it. You could definitely say I over-prepared. I probably didn't need these potions. I probably didn't need to go and get all those extra devotion points. I probably could have done him without going and upgrading my helmet and shoulders. All that is probably true. But I did, and it's fine. So there we go, the Loghorrean is dead, level 43. Let's go get our free purple item, and hopefully it's going to be something good. So when you do kill the Loghorrean, you leave through the hole in the world, and go back to Fort Icon, and we get some more conversation pie to eat. So we'll run up here, we'll talk to Inquisitor Creed. Here he is, and he's going to give us a guaranteed purple. Now, this purple is really, really worthless for this build, but you can get some really... I'm trying to talk here. Go away, Creed. You can get some really good purples out of this quest. Okay, this is tempting. The madness proc there is... you have to cast it. Okay, yeah, no. I'm no longer interested. Right. Next quest, Ugdenbog.
Excuse my father and I.
Second next quest, find Amala's daddy.
Come see what's left of my wares.
And I think we can just sell all of this stuff here. Loghorrean shoulders could be a really good item depending on how it spawns. If you get formidable Loghorrean's corruption of something useful, you can get, I think it's 11 or 12% physical resistance on one item. The +3 to Albrecht's Aether Ray is also quite nice, and I am tempted. I might hang on to that as well. That's also going in the pile of, I swear I'm going to use it. I promise, I promise. I wouldn't lie to you. Let's be honest, I'm probably not going to use it. But +3 to Albrecht's Aether Ray is quite tempting. Alright, let's have a look at the rest of this. The Dreadnought footpads, good armor, low roll on the physical resist, but that's always good. Low roll on the pierce resist, but that's also always good. I'm going to sell that. I'm going to sell pretty much all of this, I think. Check this ring. Yeah, no. No. That's alright. Sell all that. We'll sell that. We'll bank everything. And how are we doing for time? Should have heaps. Yeah, heaps of time. Alright, we can definitely make it at least up to the Coven. How did I miss a massive shield like that? And a ring. Should have sold those as well.
I'll give you a good price on what I've got left.
Okay, so at this point, I could go back through all through here, and I could do the Steps of Torment for the devotion point there. I could come up here to the Conflagration, teleport over to Port Valbury, and there's another devotion point there. I could go back to the Necropolis here, there's Bastion of Chaos for another devotion point. So that's 3 devotion points I could go get. I could go back into the Tomb of the Archon and pay that Ancient Heart. How many have I got, actually? I've got 5 of them. I can definitely afford one. I think I'll do that in between episodes, though. I don't think anyone particularly is interested in watching me run through that section again. And it would literally be running through it just to get to the shrine, so we're going to skip that for now. And we are going to go to the Burridge Village Rift. Now from here, there's a couple of things we could do. We could go down here into the, what is that place called? The East Marsh. There is a devotion shrine in there as well. We could also do the Hidden Path quest, but I think I'm going to leave that until Ultimate. So what we're actually going to do is head for the Gloomwald. And to get there, we just follow this road north and east, or up and right, for those of you who are, what do we call it? Cartesianally challenged? Cartesianally challenged? I'm not sure. For those of you who can't use a compass, up and to the right. And it looks like I've got the really nice run. This road is almost always blocked. Usually, you know, there'll be a blockage here, so you have to go through the houses to get around that. And you'll come over here, and there'll be a blockage, you know, here, so you'll have to go up into the swamps. And anyway, I got the really good spawn, which almost never happens, so I just get to jog down the road. Okay, here's old mate Drelgar the Keeper. One thing I've just realized I haven't done is I haven't put Devastation on the bar here. So this is going to do not heaps of damage, but basically an Aether Meteor Storm, which is pretty fun. Once I get my hands on another Devotion proc, which is probably going to be the Raise the Dead from the Revenant Devotion. Once I get that, I'll probably tie that to either Ill Omen or Devastation. Or maybe I'll have Haunt by then. We can use the Haunt skill. The thing with the Devastation is that it's kind of... it's not amazing. Granted, it's level 2 at the moment, but the problem with it is that the duration is way less than the cooldown. So yeah, it's cool. Even 2 points is definitely killing things, but there's a decent amount of time in between when you can cast it. Right, so we've made it to the Gloomwald here, and anyone who's been watching for more than, I don't know, 1 character knows that this is my favorite area in the game in terms of farming. because there is a bunch of totems, there is a bunch of treasure troves, 2 to 3 of each. 2 treasure troves guaranteed, and between 2 and 3 totems just running through this section and the cellars underneath it. And there's a very nice path that I've kind of come up with. I don't know if I came up with this or if I stole it from someone else, but it's the one I'm using, and I'm going to say it's my path, even if someone else may have made it. I stole it so long ago that I don't remember. So let's just do this bit. Turn the devastation on. Should have done that first. There's another pair of perdition gear, so I think that's 4 or 5 pieces of that set now on this character. Just goes to show that when you don't need the set, it's everywhere, and as soon as you try to make a character around it... what's perdition? Sorry, we don't have that here. So, 1 devotion shrine here, one totem here, 1 potential location for the treasure trove just here. This house has usually got some heroes. Yep, here we go. So just to the north of it. Later, we will do a quest that will give us more heroes in this area, and this is one of the potential locations they can spawn. You could also have Pakla up here. Pakla's not home today. That's alright, I don't want his stuff anyway. So we're going to head south from here. I do usually come up here and just kill the hero if there is one, and if there isn't, we just leave. And we come back down here to the stairs down. Before we go in there, though, there is a chest in this house that'll have basically a quest item. So we read that. It's going to give us a quest and a lore note, so we can read that if we're interested. I know where that's taking me, and it's fairly easy to find. In fact, it's kind of hard to miss it, to be honest. But hey, you need the quest item in order to get the quest, which you need in order to blow up the wall to get to the Exalted Stash, so you do need to get that. Alright, in the Decrepit Cellar, there is 2 things that can potentially kill you in here. The first one is not here today, because it's the ancient undead totem, which can spawn right about here. Or maybe it's south of this rock, but it's against this wall somewhere. It can be a little rippy, but you're probably going to be fine by this point in the game, so I would absolutely click on it if it was here. It's not, unfortunately. The other thing that can kill you in here is Avarice. Now, Avarice is not here today either, so that's fun. Avarice spawns pretty much right here, and these Blood Singers will heal her, and she'll summon wraiths, and it's a whole thing. Also, she gets to shoot you with the MI pistols that she has, and so... hang on, just gotta message the Wi-Fi. There we go. She gets to shoot you with the pistols she has, and they can hurt. Similar to Bolvar, similar to the Chthonian Tyrants. Getting hit by MI weapons is a little bit risky, because they can sometimes be quite scary. Alright, new relic. So, Haunt here. Spectral Longsword. Also need the Spectre relic, which means maybe not new relic, but hey, let's go see if we can make it. Haunt is a level 35 relic that has +1 to, I think it's Arcanist skills. I'm 99% sure it's Arcanist. So let's see if we have Spectre. We do not have Spectre. So you can't see it here, but I'm going into the item database on Grim Tools, and I'm going to search for Spectre because I have a feeling it's one of those blueprints you buy from one of the factions. Okay, that's interesting. Let's turn the blue items on. Common items. Relics? Okay, new plan. We go in here and we search for Spectre. There it is. Okay. Blueprint comes from the Coven of Ugnabog. Alright. So actually I can't make it right this second. The blueprint for Spectre requires Tainted brain matter, cracked lodestone, chilled steel, and corpse dust. Okay, I have all of that. Oh, you can also buy it from the rovers, so I can make it. Alright, awesome. Unfortunately, that means I'm probably going to lose my rift, because you guys know me. I'm going to forget, and then I'm going to clear that rift. Okay, okay. Focus, Pikers. Do not clear your rift. Alright, here we go. Spectre. S-P-E-C. There it is. So, we want the Spectre relic. We want to not clear the rift. Okay, don't do it. Don't clear the rift. We go back to Devil's Crossing. What is my current... Oh, the Bone Talisman. Okay, so I'm going to lose... I'm going to lose, actually, the proc here. Or the activatable. Oh well. It is what it is. So, Spectre. Spectre here, Aether damage, a little bit of casting speed, some Chaos Res, and, well, this particular skill. Which kind of looks alright. Seems okay. However, Haunt, Aether Steel Bolts, one of those. And what was the other thing? I'm going to go check. Every time I guess, I get the wrong thing. Haunted Steel. Oh no. Alright. Okay. We're going to come back for this, because Chthonic Seals are binding, and Vengeful Wraith is also... Don't clear the rift. Alright. This is what we're doing. I'm going to go back to my rift. We're going to continue through to the next rift gate, and then I'm going to go make Haunt. Alright. That needs to go back to Mana Infusion, though I don't know that I'm actually going to use it. One other cool thing that I usually forget to point out through this little section here is that there's a hidden area just here, and you can blast apart this thing, which, hey, has loot, but also lets you into this area. And in here you have a Hidden Remains, which... Why does this game hate me? That's actually an upgrade. Pretty much across the board upgrade. Okay. Alright, that's fine. Let's just chuck those on. I think I've had 5 pieces now, so I would have the entire set. I'm telling you, when you don't need it, Perdition is everywhere. As soon as you need it, can't find it. It's as rare as hen's teeth. Okay, minor upgrade. Very, very minor upgrade. But I'll take it. But yes, you have hidden loot in the walls here. Or in the tree that's part of the wall, behind the wall that you have to break. One of the things I really love about the fact that Grim Dawn's map is not procedurally generated, and is instead a set map, is that they can have things like that hidden in the walls. Though, to be fair, Diablo 2 also had things hidden in the walls occasionally. Alright, here's Pakla. Pakla is a little bit scary. Pakla's vitality damage, and actually a decent amount of it. But we'll burn through Pakla pretty quickly. Black Grimoire, Pakla's Visage. I'm pretty sure he doesn't get to use that, but it doesn't really matter if it's an armor piece. You're more worried about the weapons that a lot of the humanoid enemies get to use. Okay, Devotion Shrine. Devotion Shrine we like. Mage Storm of Mending. Now, Mage Storm is an Aether lightning damage prefix. I had actually been thinking this was a ring. It's not, so never mind. And Treasure Trove. So this is the second location that the above ground Treasure Trove can have. You're guaranteed one in this little underground cellar. You're guaranteed another one in the above ground area. So this is the second location. First one was back over here, and the third one is kind of around the corner. Let's go ahead and turn this on. Okay, these guys are big chunky boys. And they have a lot of health. They also hit pretty hard. So you do want to try and stay away from them if you can. Okay, Basilisk marked. None of that is particularly amazing. What was I doing? Tortoise, that's right. So yeah, we'll get the Tortoise next. It's definitely worth getting that kind of a little bit before you think you're going to need it. Because it does need to be leveled up. So coming up here, this is the next location of interest because there could be a totem here. You get one guaranteed totem above ground, and you get one semi-guaranteed, I'm going to say, below ground. Now, we didn't get totem in this underground area. There's another cellar way up to the northwest that will also potentially have that totem. But I'm not going to go in there.
Please just leave.
Okay, yeah, this is Daddy. We need to send Daddy back to town. And that's not the millennial type of Daddy either. That's Amala Torvin. Here we go. Amala Torvin's dad. She sent us out here to find him. Here we go. Ill omen spreads like a plague. Literally. It's good fun. Not very good, as I said, for actually killing things, but good fun to just watch it spread. Trigger all the procs, basically. Okay, this is the last location where your treasure trove could be, just next to this little, I don't even know what that is, plant, tree stump, whatever, in this corner. 3 more points here. Now, what I should do is put it into Albrecht's Aether Ray, but I do also want to get Maven Sphere. I do want more points in Ill Omen, mostly for the reduced target's damage debuff. I also want more points in Spectral Binding, although health is kind of under control at the moment. I think what we do... You know what? I'm going to put 3 points in Maven Sphere. Taking less damage is always a good thing. And our offensive power, I guess we'll call it, is strong enough at the moment that I'm not particularly worried about not being able to kill things fast enough. Okay, follow that road north. As with most of the campaign, you can get to the end of it just by following the road north. The wagon tracks, more or less, show you where to go. However, there is also this little area here. You go back the way you came. Named Stashia, this is the quest for it. Boots of the Arcane Blaze. I am tempted by those because, you know, it's another proc. Let's see what happens to my resistances if I do this. They're actually fine, so I'm going to keep those boots. I'm going to go and get the anti-venom salve off of my old ones, and we're going to put it on here. So we get another Arcane Blaze proc, which, I mean, I did say my goal was to have that on as many items as I could. Alright, and we'll use that potion as well. So we're looking good. Nearly up to the Gloomwald Crossing Rift as well, at which point I'm going to reset back to character select, and we are going to go... Actually, I'll show you here. So, I'll come back for this cellar door. Just up here, there is often a totem. That's the third? Yeah, I think third location where it can be. It will be in one of those 3 locations every time you load into this zone. So you are guaranteed a totem in this area. And I'm pretty sure if we go down here, we'll run into the other totem. And we'll also run into Avarice. Avarice Marrow something or other. Something like that. I forget exactly what her name is. I've been calling her Avril Lavigne for so long, I don't really actually remember her proper name. She lives over here by the totem, so we're going to go over there, kill her friends probably before her, and then we'll do the totem as well. So, clear the area out. One thing you definitely want to do when you're fighting Avarice is you want to kill all of her friends, because they will heal her. Anything with a yellow name is likely to be a healer. You can get rid of those. All of my energy is gone, which I don't love. And she's going to be summoning these for the whole fight. Let's just... So I don't have an energy potion right now. You don't want to stand right next to her. Even ignoring her MI pistols, which she does have, and they can potentially hurt. She has a couple of shotgun attacks, so you want to give her room for those to spread out before they hit you. So that's her. Fortunately, she didn't seem to spawn with too many healers, which I like. I like her not having healers. Yeah, lots of crabs in here. I'm kind of trying to clear the area to get that totem. Zolhan's battle plate's not bad. Let's just wait for my energy potion, then we'll do this totem. It is an ancient totem, so even though, yeah, it's undead, you do still kind of have to respect it a little bit, because it is an ancient totem. Right, let's go. Okay, Corrupted. I definitely want to kill him pretty quick. However, killing the chaff is often more important. Let's turn the loot off so I can see what's going on. Let's not stand in whatever that is. And totem complete, lovely. So what do we get? We get the hand mortar, which we're not playing a purifier with pistols, so I don't care. And actually a lot of this stuff goes in the I don't care category. That is what it is. Okay, so this is where you can find Avarice if she wasn't in the previous little cellar. This is also where you can usually, but not always, find an ancient undead totem if it wasn't in the first one. I have had times where it's not in either of them. I don't know where the third spawn point for this group is, because Grim Tools lists them on their own rather than as part of a group. Okay, we are exiting to menu, and we are going to go and get Haunt. So I need to get my hands on 2 Chthonic Seals of Binding, and like I said earlier, I think I said it earlier in this episode, I swear these things just blur together. The best place to get them is over here. There's also, down here, a handful of Aether Crystals, which you can also get every time you come through here. So I'm just going to take those as well, because as I've said a million times at this point, there is no such thing as enough Aether Crystals. You will need more. You think you have enough, I guarantee you don't. These guys out the front here can drop the seals as well. I've had 2 to 3 drop out the front before, but I think my record is 17 from clearing this entire area. But that's not going to happen every time. I guess technically it can happen every time, but it's not going to. There's 1, there's 2. Technically I'm done, but I kind of want to grab a couple extras. You know, take a roadie for the trip home. Let's just let ill omens spread here. I don't know why I'm doing that. It's really not effective for actually killing things. I just enjoy the mayhem. Alright, looking like I'm not actually going to get a whole bunch more of them. I've got 3 on me, which is 1 more than I need, so I'll kill this next group, and then we'll call it done. Okay, one more group, I swear I'm not addicted. I can quit anytime. Unfortunately, they're not dropping very good today. Like I said, I've had 17 coming through here. I'm gonna go until I get 1 more. I'm gonna do it like that. I want 1 more, and then I'll leave you guys alone. So, if any of you want to survive, it's in your best interest to give me what I want, and then I'll go away. And if you don't give me what I want, eventually I'll run out of things to shoot, and then I'll go away anyway. But, you know, if you want to survive... Okay, you know what? We're done. So, we're going to get the Haunt Relic. Which means I need... I think it was... Have Spectre, right? Let's just see what we need. Haunt. 0. 0 available. Oh, that's right. It was the Haunted Steel. Here we go. Vengeful Wraiths, for which I need to go to the Rovers here. While we're here, I may as well... Bits are not amazing. But I think I'm going to buy all of their blueprints for components, because I don't want to have to be running back here every 5 levels as I try and get more stuff. Mark of Mog, sure. Relic Spectre, Vengeful Wraith, Runestone. How do I not already have that? Restless Remains, yes. And the rest of that, no. Okay. Now we go back to Devil's Crossing. So that was a lot, unfortunately. Probably shouldn't have done it in hindsight, but also it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay, let's try this again for like the third time. What am I short on? Vengeful Spirits. For which I need 4, and of course I don't have enough crystals. And I'm pretty sure I'm now too high level for this place, but, well, let's go see. They are level 31, so I get nothing. Next best place is going to be the Arcovian Foothills Rift, which actually is not amazing, but you can get 3 or 4 here, depending on spawns. I think 4 or maybe 5 is like the most I've ever seen here. Well, there's 4. There's 5. So I'm pretty sure that's the most I've ever seen. Or equal most, I should say. And you can also sometimes get maybe 1 or 2 up here as well. Nope. Okay. Next place to look is going to be Dead Man's Gulch. I think there's a couple here. There's a lot of Aether stuff here. This is also where the Immolation entry is. So just here. Don't go down there. That's death. You can get through that if you know where you're going, if you know where you're stopping. You can absolutely get through that, and there is a quest in there. And at the end of it, there is a lot of Aether Fire and Aether Crystals. Actually, you know what? We're going to do something incredibly stupid. Incredibly stupid. But also fun. Let's go and talk to the Black Legion and see if they'll give me that quest. Nope. Do you have another quest for me? Okay, they don't like me enough. Where are we up to? Black Legion, just respected. Okay, I'm going to do your quest anyway, and then later, hopefully I can just turn it in. So we're going to go into one of the most dangerous areas in the game. Like I said, this is incredibly stupid. What I should do is go to the Necropolis and do it that way. But where's the fun in that, am I right? Okay, so halfway along here, there's a little side road, and that's where we're going to. I think it's there. So that's kind of where we have to get to. So, here we go. It's not that first one. Check on the map when you're doing this, because there's this little fake out section here. You will stop there thinking you're safe, because it kind of looks like you can walk up here. You can't, and you're not. So, look at the map for where the safe spot is. And then, I think there may be a couple crystals back here, but there's certainly a lot of manticores. Maybe I'm wrong about the crystals. But hey, there's stuff to do back here while you wait on your potion cooldown and whatever else you use to get to this first little section. Also notice not a single manticore eye between the lot of them. Alright, next up we're heading to the door. So you can't really see the door here, but that's where we're heading next. Pop a potion, use the door. Well, that's depressing. Alright, well, I guess dumb idea averted. We'll go to the Necropolis. And we actually want the exterior, not the interior. I try to do something stupid for content, and the game says no. Alright, okay, that's fine. I didn't want to go there anyway. I told you it was a bad idea. It is still a bad idea. And the game is 100% correct. I should not go in there. That's crazy that it wouldn't let me, though. Ah, well, it is what it is. So we've got Esperia here. Whole bunch of extra stuff to kill. That's fine. And basically what I'm doing is I'm trying to get to heal, because Aether Crystals for everybody. There's a few more up the ramp here. So this level is... it's really awkward level, because there's... You don't have I mean, you have access to Elite and Ultimate, but you haven't really done it yet, so you can't just go there and go straight to the Warden's Lab. I'd have to do all of Act 1. Not really, not really strong enough to go and do Ultimate Act 1. Aether Fire of Insight. Those are really good shoulders, actually. Those are impressively good shoulders. I may end up using those. So, the Insight proc there, the elemental damage is worthless, but that 10 energy per second is pretty good. That's pretty good. And Insight is up a lot when you're attacking things. Aether Fire is the prefix. It's not amazing on this, but it's alright. I may end up using these. Chuck it in the pile of other shoulders that I may end up using. And I think that's it. Yeah. No more crystals. How many have I got? Got 11. That will hopefully be enough. If not, we can just reset and go to the more safe areas to get gear upgrades. Let's get rid of all of you and you. Alright, so I need 4 Vengeful Spirits. How many do I have? 0. So Veng. Why can I only make 2 of these? Short on Ectoplasm. Okay. So I actually need Ectoplasm, which you can craft, so I need 6 of those. I just crafted way more than I needed, so that's fun. Vengeful Wraith. 4 of those. Blessed Steel, was it? Let's double check. It's Haunted Steel, isn't it? Yeah, 1 Haunted Steel. 1 Haunt. Okay, got it. So, this is Haunt. This is the +1 to Arcanist skill relic that is level 35. There's one of these for each class, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but for most of the classes there is a level 35 relic with +1 to the mastery skills. This is the Arcanist one. Aether damage, great. Percent health, great. Energy absorbed from enemy spells, it's alright. Less damage from undead, who cares? And +1 to all Arcanist skills is really good. And then you have the Haunt skill, which has minus Aether resistance on it, so that is really, really good. It does, unfortunately, mean I have another button to press in just about every fight, though. Let's go ahead and chuck this potion in here. I will hang on to one of these, just because I know I have a quest coming up later. And the last thing I think we're going to do before the end of this episode is actually run forward to the Coven. So I'm going to go to Gloomwald Crossing, and we are going to make our way through the Gloomwald, as it were, towards Gloomwald Crossing. So now we've got Haunt and also Ill Omen, and both of those are skills that will spread. So if we... Well, that didn't quite work as I intended. But hey. You can see the Aether Fire on the ground spreading everywhere. It's triggering all the procs. This is where the fun starts. If I could get a couple more pieces with the Arcane Blaze on them and somehow not tank my resistances, yeah, it's going to be great fun. You can get it, I believe, on every piece of armor, so... I don't know how effective it is. It's probably fine for the campaign. But it certainly would be fun. Okay, you can see Caraxes' lair there, or the Den of Caraxes, which we are going to go into. And we have to kill a giant ghost crab. Actually, he's not a ghost, is he? He's just a giant crab. So we can get the Haunt spreading. Minus 8% Aether resistance doesn't sound like much, but what you have to remember is that a lot of these enemies are resistant to things like elemental damage or poison. Not a lot of things are resistant to Aether, so 8% less Aether damage, or 8% shredding on Aether resistance, potentially increases your damage by a lot. The downside, of course, is I killed one boss and my energy bar is gone. I don't have the energy regen from the Bone Talisman anymore. So all I've got is this potion, which means I maybe need to start looking at some other ways of getting energy back. or I need to be much more proactive about my energy potion use. That's kind of why I was excited about these shoulders. I mean, yeah, there's no skills that I really care about on these shoulders. There's no conversion that I care about on these shoulders. But it is a caster shoulder. It gives you energy regen just on the item. And then the insight proc as well is up most of the time, and it's a good chunk of energy. So those shoulders are somewhat exciting. I'm having way more fun with Haunt and Ill Omen than I should be. Just imagine if we were a Kabbalist and we also had the other spreading skill from them. That would be amazing. You can, I think, convert Ill Omen over to Vitality, so that might be a fun idea for a Vitality caster. Is just have all three of those skills that just spread like a plague. Anywho, we're almost at the end here. Made it successfully through the dangerous part of the Gloomwald, and we have made it to the Ugdenbog, by which I mean we have made it to the Coven. So, this is going to be the end of this episode, so I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye for now.